Welcome to Yonnie Unfiltered, the podcast where we stop sugarcoating, stop settling, and start leveling up. I am Yonnie Unfiltered, and on this show, we are talking about relationship, money, healing, growth, and the unforgettable truth no one wants to say out loud. If you're ready to raise your standard, take accountability, and become the best version of yourself, you are in the right place.
I said before, not even the principal money that we spend sometime, we did not get back out of those farming. His farmer program was still going. He was still going there. Even though it reaches a time when know that sometimes he wasn't even certain that they would call him. And because I remember one year that he was there waiting, anxiously waiting for them to call him, and they didn't call him at all. He did not go that year. And another time, when they call, they keep changing him from one place to the other. One place, if he might go to this place this year, next year it was a different place, and that's how it was. So it was not reliable anymore. We could not rely on it. So I got a visa to travel, and so I started traveling to the United States. And I said to him when I was about to leave, before I ready to leave, I said to him that okay, you know what you're going to do? You're going to get somebody to drive the vehicle. You're going to go and do the same thing that I am doing now, right? You're going out there. So it came to a time that I was only doing cane and jelly, and I would just go and supply it and return, just to deliver it to people. I wasn't going in the market anymore, so I just went and deliver the stuff and come back home. So I said to him, I want to hold my customers until I come back. So you continue with it. Get somebody to drive the vehicle. Look at something them. Get the goods. Get somebody to drive the vehicle and go and deliver it. He said yes. Then, so I left. I spent 4 months. And for that 4 months, he did not move the vehicle. The vehicle, he never moved it one day. So when I came back, I said, look, I'm not going out there. Because if I should go back, I would have to go back out there to try to seek new customers. When before I left, sometimes when I go with the goods, it wasn't even enough for all the people that wanted to buy. It wasn't even enough. And for me now to come back and to go back again to go seek customer again, I said, no, I'm not going to do that. So I did not go back into the market. So the vehicle was there, parked. So I went and I buy some chicken. I made a cook and I said I'm going to rear some chicken. The second year I traveled, I leave the vehicle there. And you started to complain that it is going to rotten down. The body of the vehicle is going to rotten down. And so he's going to sell it. And so he did. When I was not there, he sold the vehicle. So at this time, here he comes to the time when he was just spending 6 weeks on the farmer program. So everything turned out ill. But we achieved something during the time, because during the time of the igloring, we move out of the one room, and we now built a 3 bedroom living, dining, kitchen, and bathroom. And the land that we were living on, we leased it first, but we buy it now because the person sold it to us, so we buy the land. And we were sending the children to school. We know that they had to was to go to school, so there we are. But at the same time, no, everything turned downhill. Yes, we have a shelter over our head, but we want food, we want clothes, and bills have to be paid. And as I said before, children going to school. So I borrowed a money from Jamaica National, and I bought a tank, 1,000 gallon tank, because sometimes he complained that drought or whatever. So I said, okay. So I borrowed the money. I bought a 1,000 gallon tank and about 20 length of wastewater pipe, 2 inches pipe or inch and a half, something thereabout. I got a plumber to come and do the fitting for us. And he had a pump because he bought a pump when he went on the farm work program. And I said, okay, then we are going to solve this problem, because if we have water to supply the farm, then maybe we can get something from it. So we fit up the pipe. There was a tank on the property. So we use that tank. We use the water from that tank to put it into our tank so that we can supply the farm. So that was what we were doing at the time. And we put in the crop. So when we put in the crop this time now, something happened. I don't, maybe the land buying up, it start to become like, oh, maybe I want to test the soil to see if it's the soil is the problem, so that, it's not yielding anything. I don't know. But there was nothing. At this time, he said he wanted to rear animals, because he said he wasn't going back on the farmer program, because going for 6 weeks doesn't really make any sense. No sense at all. None. So, because sometimes when he go away for 6 weeks and come back, he can't even buy one suit of clothes for himself. So that doesn't make any sense. So he said he wasn't going back. So I was trying to encourage him, because I was so concerned when I see that there was nothing coming out of the farming. So sometimes he said that it's because he has to plant the crop and leave them and go away. And when he leave it and go away, for people to take care of it, like he would have some men who would take care of it. He said that because it's not theirs and they don't put in the effort and that's why the things never come to nothing. But even when he was putting in more time in it, the tank and the water and everything, there was nothing still. Anyhow, he said he wanted, so I encouraged him to try something else. If this not working out, it's only costing us money. I remember one year we planted 16 bag that are 800 pound of Irish potato. And mercy, nothing at all. Fertilizer, spray, all pay to get help with people, pay people for work, and all of that would up the drain. Nothing at all come out of it. And so I was saying to him, so why you not try something else? Try something else, because this not working out. But even though I was saying that, I did not know what to say to try. I did not know. So he came up with this idea that he would stop going on the farmer program and he would rear animals like cow and goat. And he said he would make a pen and then he would put the cows in there and then he would cut grass and feed them. Remember, you say it, and not me. You must know how much you can carry grass and feed cows. We can't tell you yes, you can do it. I can't tell you no, you can't do it. You have to know if you can do that. Anyhow, I went ahead and I borrowed $2.3 million from the credit union bank, and I buy the cows, and we buy the goats, and we buy wire, and we buy a little car. Because we said we are living on the main road, so we said that we would go and cut grass and carry with the car to where the cows were. So that was what we did. So we were doing that. I went ahead and buy it and put it. When then the car wasn't so good. You know, somebody just ripped me off with that car. Because we never know nothing about vehicle like that. Oh, and it wasn't good at all. It started giving problem. Because we were cutting the grass in the mornings. Every morning early, I would have to go with him because I would have to be the one to drive the vehicle. So I would have to go and then cut the grass and we pack it in our vehicle and we drive it to where the cow. Well, when we drive it halfway, you would have to take it to the cow because it wasn't really far, but the vehicle couldn't go where the cow was. So that was how it was. The goats, the cows were there. I think he had them for about a year. Then he started to complain that he work hard and people say, oh, he mager and he might lose weight and this and blah, blah, blah. So he never come forth and say, say, I can't manage the cow no more and you have to go sell them. He never said that. He started to complain how people say mager and whatever. So we say, okay, you can't manage them. And he say, yes. We say, okay then, all right then. Sell them. And he sell the cow them. Get by and he sell them. Money mash up. Because I eat what we eat because we don't have any money. And the goats were there. The goat becomes, I think it's 6 goats. We all know that there comes a time when dog eat goat because we have to do it time and time again. We have goat, dog come and dog eat them out. So we planned that we would leave them out at night, we would have take them home. That was what he said he was going to do. That night, particular night, he left them there. And in the morning, when he went to see them, he knew that we all know that the dog ate the goat because the dog come in at the yard. We have a rabbit comb and the dogs come and was trying to tear down the rabbit comb. And he said, a goat dog because he heard them and tear down the rabbit comb. And in the morning when he just went definitely looking that he was going to see them. And that was exactly what happened. When he went, all 6 of them lie down there. Somebody have to beg, help him to bury them. That was how that moved. So we didn't have the cow, we didn't have the goat, and we don't have nothing. So we were there now with the chickens that I was rearing. So I had was to be doing the chicken to get the to pay the loan, to repay the loan that I took from the credit union to buy the cow that I put myself in a debt with and the goat. But dog eat off everybody. So okay, I was there. And the chicken was going on until COVID came. Because I was rearing the chicken so that I would not out of it. So at each time I have stage so that, as one said come out, then that the other said come up that we can kill them so that we can get it rotating so that I could pay the loan. Anyhow, COVID came and where I was selling my chicken was restaurants. And some of the restaurants closed down and some were operating on small scale, not everybody have to, if people come and buy, they just have to live with it. They never open like that for business. So then everything scaled down. So at that time, I couldn't raise so much chicken anymore. So I have to cut it down. And even sometimes when the little that I had, when they credit it, they blame it on COVID. So when they credit for weeks, you would have to wait for the money to get the money. And sometimes you have to get it in pieces, and it just, going, everything just going wrong. So I decided that I was going to credit a freezer from courts, and so that when I have the chicken, instead of giving it out and waiting on them to pay me the money in pieces, I would store my chicken for myself, and if I even want one, sell them and get the money instead of crediting it and not getting the money for it. So that was what I did. So I started. So I have this freezer to pay for, and I have the loan to pay. At that time, I could hardly buy food because I have to be fighting to pay the loans. And so each time I come up here, I always pack barrels. And when 2018, I packed 2 barrels, and when I pack barrels, it served over into the other year. And sometimes all 2 years straight, things all depends on what, like shampoo, conditioner, them something there. Those would have served over long time. And so 2018, I packed 2 barrels. So that was why 2019, when COVID came, it wasn't all that hard. But 2021 was the hardest I ever see things. It was difficult. I don't know, because I was so stressed out. But I prayed and I trusted in God. I trust God. And 2022 comes in now. And 2022 was the year. That year was the bittersweet year. That year was when the credit union money went into arrears. And then started threatening, because 21 they would have given 2019 was COVID. 2021 they gave a little leeway because they know that COVID came. But 2022 now, then maybe they believe that everything must come up back now. So 2022 now was the bittersweet time. And they send notice to me, and I'm in arrears and whatever. I tell you, I didn't know my bed from my bed because I don't know. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have anywhere to turn. I didn't have anybody to turn to. I didn't have nothing. Nothing. I don't know if you understand when people say they don't have nothing. Nothing at all. Nowhere to turn. Nothing. I was there one day, and I said to myself, because it was a mortgage loan, so it was the house. If we can't pay the loan, it was the house. So I managed to accumulate $100,000, and I went and paid on the arrears. But the $100,000 don't make no sense, because if you pay $100,000 and you don't have any more to pay next month or the following month, it gone back to square one. So that was how it was. So I think it was February of 2022 or late January. I was there, depressed, not knowing what to do. So all sort of something coming on my head. So I have this family member in the United States. So I said to myself, at that time, I don't remember if it was 130 or 150 for the $100 credit. But 130 or 150 would be a lot of money for me because I didn't have it, and it would be a great sacrifice to use the 130 or the 100 or the 150 by a credit, by a phone card. Anyhow, that day I was impressed to buy the phone card. So I said to myself, I am going to buy a phone card and I'm going to call this individual and I'm going to say to him, I'm not going to beg him any money, but just talk to him and see if he would have a heart of compassion and even send $100 come give me. Because if he said $100, you don't know how much I would have appreciated that $100. So I called the person and he answered me. And he said to me, when you're coming up here, so I said to him, coming up where? We don't have any plan to come up there. He said to me that he knows somebody who wants somebody to work with his mother. So I say yes. He's, so he said to me, you would come? I said, oh, you mean? He said to me, okay, I'm going to call the person and get back to you. He said, okay, do it now. He called the person and the person and said yes. And the person accepted and I got the position. But let me tell you this, miss. Before I continue, I was so elated to get that position because, but even then in the same breath, I was worried because I didn't know what was going to happen, and the big loan is a burden upon my head. But anyhow, I prayed to God, pray and trust God, and I left.
Okay.
And when I left, the person the person never even said, "Oh, you pay your fare." The person pay everything because if the person did say pay your fare, borrow, would have to go borrow people money again. But the person paid my fare, and I came. And when I came, I was there with the person. When I was leaving there, I left 200 chicken in the coop, which would be ready in 2 weeks. And I know that because 200 chicken ready in 2 weeks, you're looking at 100 chicken. You would get 100 chicken. You how much chicken did I get? 100, 400 pounds out of 100 chicken. So you have 200, so I was looking at 800 pounds of chicken at least because some would weigh more than four, but you're looking at the general weight is 4 pounds. So I was looking at 800 pounds of chicken. So I said that 800 pounds of chicken would have paid on for the loan, so it would give me a little time to get a little money. So I came, and when I came to the United States, I was there for 1 week, and then the Monday of the following week, he called me and he said to me that the credit union sent out a notice and left it with a neighbor, and said that we should get in contact with him as with the person as soon as possible. I already knew that they were going to send, so I know what it was. So I said to him, "What about the chicken?" It is responsible. Nobody asks about no chicken now. Nobody asks about that now. I'm money of it talk about. Nobody talk about no chicken now. Okay? I said to him that, okay, I'm going to try and see what I can do. I went ahead and I borrowed the money from the boss. I had a part of it. I did because I was just there for 1 week, and I borrowed from her, and I sent $1,000 and paid. And from that time until going forward, that was what I was doing. Every other week, I send $1,000 until it came way down, and so until I think I was ahead with the payment. Yeah, I was ahead with the payment because that's how I paid it. I so I was here. My time was coming down. It was now June. So I called him and I said to him, time is coming down. I will be due home in July. But here we have this loan in front of us. How is it going to go? Because coming down, I don't have anything more because it will the work will be done, no more money coming in. So how is it going to be? And if we don't pay it, it will go right back where it was and more. He said, we don't know, cause not now go on there.